Y'all hear the sound. Mock Draft Mondays, post Combine edition. We got a lot to talk about. Let's get into it. As I said in the intro, we got a lot to talk about, so I won't get too wordy with this intro. I just got to say, this was one of the best combines that I think that I've ever watched. I literally sat right behind this camera on this couch, played drums for a little bit, watch guys run, work out for the whole weekend. From the O linemen to the linebackers to the running backs to the receivers. And I just think that this class is special. If nothing else, you just see the type of athlete that these kids are evolving into, whether they're going to training, whether they're doing drill work at practice, outside of the facility. But these guys are ready to go. They're league ready. And you can see in the times and the way that they carry themselves, it's a really good class. And I'm excited to see these young men get to the NFL. So without further ado, we're gonna get into this post Senior Bowl mock. Excuse me, how many times am I gonna do that? This video, this post combine mock draft, and I got three prospects who I think will really help the Cowboys, and I'm really excited to talk about them. So I want to preface this by showing a tweet from Matt Miller, somebody who I really respect in the draft community, and he's talking about trying to wait for a receiver because we think it's a deep class. And I'm going to show the tweet on the screen. And basically, I agree with him 110%. Don't think that you'll be able to get some of these receivers in the second, third round, because I'll be honest with you, everybody likes to throw the ball in this league. Everybody could use a number two, even a number three, a slot guy, and you get all these type of options with this receiver class. The way they ran, you see the numbers on the screen, how fast they were. And so just because, it's a quote unquote deep class, deep at tackle, deep at guard, you don't want to play that game. If you have a guy rated a certain way on your board, you need to go ahead and pick him. So without further ado, at pick 24, here goes the sound. Pick 24, A.D. Mitchell, Adnan Mitchell. I went A.D. Mitchell from Texas. I'm thinking of a Robin for CeeDee Lamb. I'm thinking of a guy who can come in, stretch the field, stretch the defense, and ultimately just run past defenders when CeeDee Lamb is getting double, when things are rolled to Jake Ferguson. Just a guy who can be reliable year one. 700 yards, 800 yards year one is all you need from this guy. 4.35 is exceptional, and I had to go back and watch the film because one of the things that I wrote that I missed on was the deep speed is real. And I think because he's more of a glider and you don't see explosive movements, you think, well, maybe he's not that fast. Well, he answered that question running a 4.35. I know that his teammate Xavier Worthy is going to steal all the headlines, but to be able to run that, him and Brian Thomas Jr. really answered that question. Only one drop last year. The ball tracking is special. He really does remind me of George Pickens. He really does remind me of T. Higgins. Tall, but also has great tracking ability and is going to consistently beat a number two receiver. So I think that in Adnan Mitchell, he comes in, he's a Robin for your team. He gives you good production year one, and he helps the Cowboys in ways that they as much as with the Tyron Smith news, yes, but you still have a need a receiver too. There's no guarantee that Michael Gallup will be on this team. You like what you have in Jalen Tolbert, but you don't love what you have in Jalen Tolbert. So to me, receiver two is still a very big need, and I think the Cowboys can draft one in this draft early. Y'all hear the sound? That's my favorite part of mock draft Mondays. Pick 56, Junior Colson. Early on, because of how well these linebackers ran, I'm like, man, Peyton Wilson, Junior Colson, even though he didn't run, you saw Ezra Cooper run a good time. A lot of these linebackers did some really nice things. You're like, okay, is there a chance that you got to draft one of these guys maybe at pick 56? At pick 24, and then the rest of the combine happened. It's like, I think that some of these linebackers that you may want, that you may have targeted, will still be staring at you at pick 56. It will be a tough live to see, man, hey, is Junior Colson staring at you? But I would love to have him. To me, he's the best linebacker in his class. Instincts out the chart. You hear him talk. You hear him. He understands ball. All those Michigan guys knocked the combine out of this world. Blake Corum, I love the way that Blake Corum just spoke. Him, who's my receiver? I'm drawing a blank. I call him Amon-Ra St. Brown, but all of those guys were just, to me, those Michigan guys. I know everybody's gonna say, "Oh, don't draft a helmet, this, that, and the third. But I like the way the Michigan guys spoke. I like the way that they talk, and I really think that Junior Colson comes in, he hits a knee. He's a big physical linebacker that plays with instincts. Doesn't have a major injury history. I know we love Peyton Wilson, but that injury history is real. So, like I said, Junior Colson, pick 56. You guys know how I feel about that player. So he would be a complete steal for me. Pick 87, Cedric Van Pran, and actually the receiver I was thinking about in my last segment was Roman Wilson. I think that I love what Roman Wilson was able to do at Senior Bowl. I actually was trying to get him in this mock because maybe in the third round, I think that he would be dynamic for you in the slot. Definitely reminds me of Amon-Ra St. Brown, but I wasn't able to get him in this mock. But pick 87, Cedric Van Pran. You just talk about a guy with outstanding power. Power, power, power is the name of his game. I don't know if you would use him in pull schemes and kind of getting him on the move like you do with Kelsey. But when you watch Georgia's running game, and they ran the ball a lot, used Brock Bowers in line, they did all those types of things, and they were big with their run schemes. When it comes to Van Pran, you look at a guy who's just like, man, extremely physical, can get to the next level. Like I said, I don't know if you want him playing sideways. I think you want him coming forward, duo schemes. But he's a big body. I think he will come in, and I think that would be like some sort of an upgrade from what you have in Tyler Biadasz. So to me, like I said, he's the type of player that you could plug him in the scheme right now. He's big, he's physical. He played SEC football. There's people who are watching and say there's no way that Van Pran will be there, but I think that this lineman class stretches deeper than the receiver class because the receiver class, I just think that those guys are going to go early. And so that's why I went Van Pran later. He was available. Some of the receivers that I liked, I was like, wow, I'm glad that I went ahead with A.D. Mitchell early. And you guys know how I feel about like Keon Coleman. I thought that he had a good combine. People would look at the 4.6 and say, oh, no, that's not good enough. I'm like, to me, it's fine. So this is my mock. You guys let me know how you feel. Like I said, cover the whole combine. Some of my players who I thought that really did a good job, who were risers. I mean, the guard from Troy Fanu, guard tackle Washington, riser. I thought all the running backs, Trey Benson, Marshawn Lloyd, risers. I thought the corners ran well. Nate Wiggins, riser. I mean, you talk about A.D. Mitchell, riser. Obviously, Xavier Worthy. There's people who are telling me that Xavier Worthy is now going to be in the top 5 of receivers because of that 40, because somebody's going to think, hey, we can recreate what the Dolphins have. I mean, this is what the league does, copycat league. So you guys let me know who were some of your risers in this class. I thought that there was an amazing production. Shout out to Rich Eisen. Shout out to Daniel Jeremiah. They did a great job. So it's your boy Foots. I'll be back this week. This is draft season. I'm going hard. Give you guys my all. Peace.